We've been doing movie nights for
years.
Gen Xer and
Gen Z.
I hate these ones because they're blue. I hate those, formal uniforms because they're white. Who makes a formal uniform white? Somebody get me in touch with the costume director.
And he crashes them.
Yes, you do. I'm very much in that transition period between, teenage years and adult years.
Mm-hmm.
Random weird moments that the two of us have experienced, and there are a lot of those.
That's the thing. I don't think we have to leave that behind when we're grown up.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's I'm just sitting there and I'm like, where did this come from? Why are we singing?
I mean, you're not going to learn anything about the movies listening to us talk. This is the Argo City Podcast. Film, conventions, and fan life with Maddie and Matthew. So, I am actually here on my own tonight. The thing is, my wife was out at her mother's tonight cleaning the pool. And Maddie is off at a completely different movie. So, I am going to see this on my own. But the thing is, look, just so that we get some of my credentials out of the way, I am a massive He-Man fan, all the way from the cartoon. The initial toys before the cartoon didn't quite capture me, but I don't know. Something about the cartoon, it just did it. I was there for the Secret of the Sword theatrical screening. I was there for the 86 movie. And I have continued to love He-Man, even when it wasn't cool to love He-Man, which is to say, well, basically any time after 1985. I was so thrilled with the 2000 series. I still think that is possibly the single best version of the character ever. And I remember being ready for the premiere. You know, it's like 3 episodes as a TV movie. It was a big deal. And I was there for it. So I'm absolutely going to be there for opening night for this movie. Done. I headed out to Amherst Cinema, which is our local kind of cheapy theater. It's our local community theater, family owned. We love Amherst Cinema in Amherst, Ohio. And it was not full. I mean, it's Friday night, and there was 8 people in it, and still one guy decided he had to sit right in front of me. Nevertheless, not a big crowd, and that's worrying me. But, you know, if you heard Maddie and my summer preview, we talked about how we were very enthusiastic for this movie. We were looking forward to this. Every trailer has actually only made me more excited. That's a rare accomplishment in today's environment. It just is. There were very few missteps here. I was into it. And yet, when I came home, my wife looked at me and suggested that I looked a little upset. So, my initial out of the theater reactions is this is very pretty, very good. It looks really great. But this movie is ashamed of itself. And that's a real tragedy. I mean, it feels the need to apologize for taking itself seriously. You know what I mean? I've seen similar comments around the internet from sneak previews. I was hoping I don't know. Here's the problem. When the movie commits, it's amazing. The action is so good. And the backgrounds, the sets, the costumes, it all looks great. But every time they get almost to like a punch the air moment, every time they get dramatic and the music is swelling and you are there for the ride, they have to stop and tell a stupid joke. Make a dumb gag. Adam raises the Sword of Power, and Teela says, "We're saved." And then Trapjaw tackles him. It's like, oh, we're screwed. Stupid stuff like that. He-Man trying to talk the bad guys with like an HR speech. I mean, it's every time. It's every time we get close to something serious and dramatic, the movie feels like it's got to stop, tell a joke to apologize for taking itself too seriously, because, we realize this is just some dumb cartoon. Well, but you know what? This is not a dumb cartoon to me. The Filmation series was campy because, well, it was 1980s cartoon. It wasn't intentional. It's just how it turned out. You did it on purpose, and it just, every time, it drops me out of it. And this stupid humor has ruined it for me. You could take out 75% of these jokes, and this would be an amazing movie. But they're a problem, and they're so integrated, especially with the theme and the music, that it's not like I could go through and do an edit of this. I am very frustrated. I realize we're doing a learning curve movie, but I want to see He-Man. I don't want to watch Adam bumbling his way through things and doing dumb stuff, jumping on the sky sled, things getting dramatic. The music swells and then oops, it's in reverse. Ha! Huh! No, I don't want to see He-Man being stupid. And I so don't want to see Man-at-Arms being a drunken loser. There's such disrespect and such a deconstruction, a tearing apart of Man-at-Arms, who should be the most important character here, the most important mentor character, the father character that really turns He-Man into who he is. And I don't know who Idris Elba is playing, but this loser is not Man-at-Arms, and it hurts, and I am unhappy. I wanted this to be good. I wanted this to be better. Maddie and I are probably going to go see this Sunday night. And I'm hoping that maybe it's different. I want to watch it through her eyes. I want to see her excitement at seeing Teela and at seeing Evelyn and at seeing like that weird nameless extra girl that they dropped in because they needed an extra female character in the Rebels. I'm hoping that watching it through her eyes maybe gives me a different perspective, because right now this thing sets up an amazing sequel and we're never going to see it. I can't imagine that this is going to do well at the box office. Let's see what happens Sunday.
And we have returned, fresh from the theater.
Yes, we have returned from the movies. We did our summer preview, so we kind of set the stage for. We were planning on doing a few different movies this year.
Yay!
This summer, and Amherst is still our go-to. Amherst is still doing good stuff for us. Mm-hmm. So we went out for Masters of the Universe.
Yeah.
Now, this is actually my second time through, too, because I went out opening night. And you
I was
did
out.
not.
No, I was out at a different movie. I was out at the Amazing Digital Circus movie, which we will be hitting eventually, but...
Yeah, and now, by this time, cat's out of the bag. Masters of the Universe did not have a good opening weekend.
Yeah.
And actually, I know some people were were blaming that on the Amazing Digital Circus because that.
And see, I'd love to argue with you, but the fact of the matter is the episodes rake in like 20-30 million views.
Oh yeah.
So I'm not exactly surprised.
It was tough competition, even for such a small release.
For such an indie thing.
But it had enough of a following that if you want to just let's face it, there were fewer people in the theater on Friday night because you weren't there. You would have been there on Friday night with me if you hadn't been over at Amazing Digital Circus. So
okay, but I've had that planned since September, so you can't exactly blame me there.
So we did finally make it out, though. We're doing this actually for movie night this week, and trying to get it in before it goes out of the theater. So it.
Yeah, work has been crazy trying to get into these movies.
For both of us, I've had a big project this week, and it's Mom's birthday, and it's just there's been no time. All right, so we got in the car, and you're like,
I have thoughts.
Yeah,
I have so many thoughts, so many things. I'm just.
I mean, this is one of those where you know it, but you don't. You're not as immersed in the lore. I'd probably place you more knowledgeable than a casual, but
less
not into fandom.
Yeah, no, I used to watch a lot. I used to watch a decent amount of this with you when I was growing up. I played with the figures since I was a little girl.
Oh yeah, I have photos of you and Lydia playing. It was one of my favorite things when you guys would ask me to pull down the castle.
Yeah, and so I've been there. I've seen it. I'm just not as well versed as I would like to be. At least it gave me enough of a basis knowledge where I knew pretty much everything in this, which was helpful.
You came home one day from Burger King and told me you saw somebody wearing a shirt.
I saw someone wearing a He-Man shirt, and I told him that I liked the shirt and that I've seen some of it with my dad, and he was so confused that I even knew what it was.
How do you even know this? Yeah.
Yeah, that was a funny experience. He was bamboozled. Bamboozled. He was bamboozled.
You've seen a couple different incarnations of the show, though, too. I've got the old one on the TV right now for background noise. But we also did the 2000 series, which took things a little bit more seriously, gave us a little bit more lore. And then we actually both really liked the CGI Netflix series.
Oh, yeah, that had no right to be as good as it was.
Really, and it had its own take. It went its own direction, and it just went with it.
It worked.
It really did, especially... and I almost wonder if it kind of got dragged down by the Kevin Smith lied one. I don't know. But I liked that. And there's elements of the lore that you've pulled from that, actually, more than...
Yeah, it's that's the show that I remember, because I watched that when I was older, and I comprehended more of it, I think. Mm-hmm. So a lot of my backstory, my headcanons, tend to come from that, specifically.
It's funny, too, looking at, young Adam in this movie... Man, it's just like young Adam in that series.
Yeah.
It's the little boy that Mom was the nanny to.
I was going to say, not to mention that young Adam looks creepily like the younger boy our mom used to watch. Mm? It's like a 1-to-1. I swear I could look at a picture of the two of them and I'm like...
It's the hair.
Who is this imposter? It is the hair.
It absolutely is the hair. But when I look at that figure even in the library, it looks like him. I think of him.
Yeah.
And it starts off really nicely like that, showing Adam and Teela as kids. And
I actually really liked that scene with the training and such.
Mm-hmm.
That was, I don't know, it felt like they played perfectly.
There's so much stuff hidden in that scene too. I'm looking at the weapons rack, and I'm in the middle of restoring a vintage Castle Grayskull. And I spent probably 6 months of this year, maybe more,
Yeah.
assembling the weapons rack, and the little trainer that spins around, and the trainers in the background too. I could see all those things. This does that constantly, and you're catching some of it, and some of it you're not, and some of it is, but there's so much fun stuff here. Skeletor attacks, overwhelms the place. Adam is sent to Earth with the sword in a flashing portal. I mean, really, in the cartoon, they travel between dimensions through, like, mirrors, through dimensional gates.
Oh,
and
okay.
this feels like it's right on brand there. It works, but he's separated from the sword. The momentum's too much.
Yeah, the poor kid loses his grip on it, and it goes flying in one direction, and he goes flying in another.
And so we get 20 minutes or so on Earth, him growing up for 15 years before he finds the sword in
A comic book shop.
something like that, yeah.
Yeah, like a whole nerd shop. It's being held by one of the statues of something.
You know what? That statue is the prototype. That was the first
Is it
version.
really?
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
So that's, if you look at some of the old prototype art for He-Man, that helmet, because it started off as a Conan the Barbarian, and merged into He-Man. There's some other elements in there too, like there's some Jack Kirby New Gods stuff thrown in there. There's all the toys in that comic shop. They're all Mattel toys. They're all classic ones.
That's funny. Like, I was looking at that sword and sitting in the theater, I was like, this is not going to be the right sword. There's no way they would give it to us this early. I thought they were going to pull a blind over my eyes with it.
Well, you know what? They're not trying to laden us down with a lot of lore or anything too convoluted. The story moves, and it goes straight through constantly, and it, to its credit, there's no lag here. He finds the sword, and it sends a signal, and bad guys come, so do good guys come. They take him back, and it is very much a learning curve movie. There's a lot of that. There's a lot of him trying to figure out who he is or what to do with this, as he finally comes into conflict with Skeletor, rallies the lost and forgotten, and take back their world.
Yeah.
That's a good enough description.
Yeah, I think that's a fairly decent description.
One of the reasons I threw the old Filmation cartoon on for us to watch is how good the designs are
yeah,
here.
they did an okay job on the costumes.
It's not even the costumes, it's the backgrounds that strike me.
That's true. Like, when we were initially watching, like, the trailer for this, I kept commenting on the forest. And we did get to see the forest in more detail later on. But it's like, I don't know, I felt so out of place in the city, in the castle, in that stuff. But it's probably just because I haven't spent as much time there as you have.
I mean, we're in the city now, and to me, the city looks right. The colors and the architecture is right, but the forest, the multicolored forest with the swirling trees, all of that kind of stuff, it just...
Yeah.
It's amazing how hard they went with some of the set design and the looks. I like the costumes. For me, for the most part, I didn't doubt anybody who they were. There's a couple of miscasts here, but for the most part, it's good. Okay, so you hesitated.
Yeah, okay. So, if I'm being honest, a lot of the costumes looked very flat to me. Like, a lot of, like, and kind of like you were saying, I don't doubt that these are the characters, but take He-Man's costume, for example. His straps, which are like leather, it looks like it's printed on fabric, like you would find on an action figure. And I don't know if that's purposeful or not.
I don't know. I didn't get that.
But on a lot of the costumes, they just look so flat. You could have done like some 3D printing or brought them up, or maybe it was just the angles of the camera. But it felt flat to me.
I felt some of them needed some bulk. Fisto and Ram Man especially. Ram Man needs some shoulder pads. Man-at-Arms needed some bulk.
He needed more bulk, yeah.
Like, when I do Man-at-Arms, mine is heavily influenced from the 2000 series, so it's almost cartoonish anime bulk. But yeah, some things were a little smaller than they should have. Yeah, I get that.
I mean, everything else looked great. I loved
It was something about the profiles, though. They got the profiles and the color schemes right.
I'll admit,
and that's something that they haven't done in the past.
Yeah, I think I liked Tila better when she had her hair up, though.
That's interesting.
I didn't particularly like the hair down because, at least in most of the incarnations that I've seen her, she's got her hair up in a ponytail, in a bun, or in that like weird spiral thing she has in the original series.
Yeah, it's just, I could see why that wasn't going to happen here.
Oh yeah, definitely. Be a pain in the butt for the stunt people.
And man, I loved that actress.
Oh, she was wonderful. She was easily one of my favorite parts of this.
I really wondered how you would react to her, what you would feel about her.
No, she's cool. She's on the side of girl power without being overpowered, which is a rare but good thing to see.
She's not a Mary Sue. And she's earned it. But then again, we know Tila, and we know that's
just who
part
she
of her
is,
character. She's not necessarily doing it at the expense of anybody either.
Oh yeah, definitely.
She is able to stand up right next to He-Man, and it doesn't feel like he has to be less for her to be more.
Yeah, I will say somewhat similarly, I didn't enjoy Man of Arms in a majority of this movie.
Okay, thank you. Look, Idris Elba is a gift, and he's a brilliant actor. Why did
they have to play the drunken Haymitch card? Like,
yeah,
I feel like that completely it's not. It's wrong.
It's not what I want to see.
Yeah.
With him. I don't know who Idris Elba was playing, but it wasn't Man at Arms.
Like, I feel like a defeated hero is one thing. A drunken, sad hero is another.
I'm pleased they gave him a redemption arc, but it's still... Man-at-Arms can be crusty and gruff, but he's also still very paternal, and we lost a lot of the humanity in him. I feel like,
and it's like
I need it now. I need the audacity as well. Do you know who I am? Do you know who I was, or do you know who I am? I am that Man-at-Arms.
And you know how we were talking about how Tila's girl power doesn't take away from He-Man?
Mm-hmm.
I almost feel like they used Man of Arms as a way to push her up. And I don't like that because
it bothers me the way that she's picking on him.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. She's constantly like saying, "Oh, don't do that," or "Oh, I've got this," or "Oh, I don't need your help." And it's like, once again, there's a difference between independence and like insulting your parental figure. Like, that's...
I'm torn because it fits the character that Idris Elba is playing, but again, he's not playing Man-at-Arms.
No.
And I need Man-at-Arms. Man-at-Arms is important. The first He-Man character that I cosplayed was Man-at-Arms. And everybody in the convention circuit, all the comic book people, all the horror people, all the sci-fi people, everybody who knew me in the convention circuit were just like, "Oh, that is so perfect because you're a dad." And you fit it.
Yeah, once or twice I walked around with you in She-Ra with that costume.
Yeah.
So
and it fit.
Yeah.
And there's a moment where the sorceress is trying to explain to Adam why she chose him to be the champion of Grayskull.
Yeah.
Because in addition to the brute strength, he also brings compassion and empathy and humanity, which despite the fact that she's using buzzwords there, when I watch the cartoon, I see it. It's there. There's a kindness in John Irwin's voice. There's a strength, but there's also a kindness. In the cartoons, He-Man is Superman.
Yeah.
Everything that I love about Superman everything that you have been latching onto and loving about Superman as we watch Superman and Lois.
Yeah.
It's all there in John Irwin's performance of He-Man in the cartoons. And this is a man who was not sure he could do it.
Oh.
Because he was used to portraying cartoon cats and funny, goofy characters.
Yeah.
And he didn't know if he could be the hero. And all of that just made it perfect. Now, this kid playing He-Man, actually, he's not doing a bad job.
No.
And you can see him getting there. But that's also present in Man-at-Arms. And I just... You start to connect with somebody that you cosplay as a lot.
Yeah.
And I don't
it's
want to
like-
watch this... I don't
Yeah.
want to watch Man-at-Arms like this.
Yeah, I was kind of there with you. And, like, I have... To put it simply, I have one major complaint about this movie that just annoys me to the ends of my tips. I hate how they made this a comedy. Because let me...
Okay, so...
like,
No, I gotta just say something real quick here.
okay.
I blocked you from seeing my comments about this movie because I wanted you to go in with a blank slate. I didn't want to color
Yeah.
your opinion.
So we were thinking the same thing then.
I walked in on Friday, and Mom looked up at me and said, "You don't look happy."
No, this... Oh my god. And I'm going to go on a bit of a rant here for a minute.
No, go there.
Because
Because my friends have already heard me.
I hated this so much. I walked into this movie expecting it to be a epic fantasy. What I got instead was a movie making fun of itself.
Yes.
He-Man, I understand there's a learning curve, but they poked fun at him every chance they got. Skeletor,
Yes.
I was looking forward to seeing Skeletor being scary, but they played him off for laughs. They could have made, because like towards the end when we get that scene with the lightning and the fighting, which was frankly the only good fight scene in this entire thing, but we get a moment where you're truly fearful of him.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of the time, he's an absolute joke. The laughing, the random awkward moments, the stupid, like, it's like we could have gotten so many great scenes and then they just ruin it with the humor.
Let me contextualize this for you. Here's the thing that I keep saying about this movie. It's ashamed of itself. Every time that every time it starts to get there, it feels like it has to make a joke to apologize for taking itself seriously. And it broke me out of the movie every single time.
Every single time.
Yeah. I was really upset about that because there is an epic here. There really is a brilliant action, and whenever they commit to it,
it's so good.
it really is. Whenever they commit to it unashamedly, the audacity is perfect.
Like,
But there's the moment that the easiest one to pinpoint is they're walking into, they just escaped, and they're walking into that
my
room,
God.
and they are blasting Princes of the Universe. By the way, I'm a huge Highlander fan. I really am.
really?
Oh my! There's two swords I don't have that I wish I had, and it's two from Highlander. Although I would like to have the McLeod Claymore. I'd like that to read McQueen instead. My mother's maiden name.
Oh.
I don't use it for anything, so you hackers aren't getting any.
Okay.
But no, Princes of the Universe is. I mean, the Highlander. We watched it. Now that entire movie is scored by Queen.
Oh, is it?
It's basically their. It's a Kind of Magic album.
Yeah.
Same musicians. Freddie Mercury's dead.
Oh.
But Brian May, the guitarist, and a lot of the same musicians and that same style, that's what this movie is. Brian May does all the music.
Yeah.
All that guitar stuff, all that amazing guitar stuff.
Yeah.
So, quite frankly, Princes of the Universe belongs to Masters of the Universe now. I don't care. It just is. But they're walking in dramatically, and okay, I give them the Fisto doing the male model hair shake, but then it's like and they're choking on the smoke, and it's just and there's no point to it. It doesn't go anywhere. It's a one laugh gag. By the way, that guy that we see on the screen right there, we saw him mounted in Snake Mountain. They walked past that thing.
That's cool.
But they stopped, they coughed, and it broke the moment. And then they went right back into it.
It's like you can't...
Why?
It's
just why?
Why?
You just undermined all the drama. And you know what? They earned that drama. They earned that punch the air moment. You've already undermined it once by how much do you bench joke. You cut that joke.
I almost feel like that could have worked if they did it appropriately.
But they didn't.
No, they
didn't.
So
it's like you cut that joke and you cut that beat that they do. Cut all that out, and this is a much better movie. Okay, so Serious Biz, I did not think on Friday night that it'd be a week before we got back out to the theater, and I definitely didn't think that we'd actually have so much to discuss that we'd run out of time. But there may have been a little inkling when we got into the car and Maddie looked at me and was like, I have thoughts. So we're going to catch up with you a little bit later on this week. It's a He-Man week, and we will talk with you then. Thanks.